Good morning. Good morning. I'm hoping that I am live. Yep, I am live. And so, welcome. I'm so glad those of you that are joining this morning are here. And I'm excited to be starting a new challenge. One of the things that I know about me is that I need a challenge to continue to be challenged. And so for me, I did this challenge because, I think sometimes it's really easy in life to get off track. And we tend to lose sight of our goals. And even though we know in the back of our mind that what we want to accomplish and that we have things set up for ourselves, we tend sometimes to get off track. And so I love these challenges, not just for you, but for me too. And I hope through this week doing this together that we can get ourselves back on track, especially as we head into this amazing season of summer and I'm seeing some sunshine out. So we're going to get started. If you're dropping in here, make sure I'm watching it here on to see if we're actually coming up live here in the Becoming Your Best Self group. If you could put a comment below, say, yes, I'm here, that would be awesome. And let's see, let me know if there's trouble with the internet. Says there might be a little bit of connection problem. So hopefully we're doing okay here. Okay, I think we should be good to go. Yeah, great. So, welcome for those of you just joining in here. We are going to be starting our 7-day health habits and healing challenge. And today we're going to be talking about the mindset behind it, the motivation behind it. And if you haven't printed your tracker, super helpful to have a way to, I just know for me, showing up for myself is super helpful when I have a way to track for myself. And so maybe that's something that you need as well. And let me see, I'm just checking that we are all set. Oh, I see us here live. Awesome. Okay. Great. Great. Okay. And so, those of you that might be new to one of our challenges, what I want to encourage you to do is participate. So, the big thing is it's easy to be that fly on the wall that says, "Oh, this is super exciting that you're doing that," and it's great that we're having these challenges, but yet on the other hand, we never participate. And so, I just really want to encourage you this morning to be that person that steps in today and change who you are, change how you participate in things, change what you maybe the way that you've done things before, and stop being that fly on the wall, because we know participation is a great way to change. So being part of this community. So each day I'm going to be on live, and if you can be on live, awesome. If you can't, make sure that you know that you can come back later and watch these. There's also going to be stuff in the page every day of resources so that you can reflect back, and that you can know what today was about, but a way to participate too. There's going to be some prompts on how you can participate in the group. So just really encourage you to really take part in this community. What I have known from running these in the past is that a lot of people, they join these and they don't participate, and they don't necessarily take part, and so they don't really reap all the benefits. And I know many of you said, I'm in, and I've seen you do that before, but I'm calling you out today, and I want you to put in the comments below, this time I'm really in. This time I'm really going to show up. This time I'm going to take part. This time I'm going to print the tracker. This time I'm going to be on the lives and comment. This time I'm going to show up for 7 full days. It's not 14 like last time. This is only 7 days. And so thinking about, if I could show up for myself for 7 days, how could that launch me into my future? Because what I know about people is we have all these great intentions. We have all these thoughts about, yes, this is what we're going to do. But at the end of the day, we tend to not show up for ourselves. And guess what? Here's the thing I know about me is, the more that I show up for myself, the more that I follow through, the more that my mind says, oh, she's actually going to show up for herself. Oh, she's actually going to do these things. And so then what happens is over time, that habit loop restarts the habit loop. Because one of the things that I know about people is that we tend to start things and then we tend to not show up for things. And that habit loop is, and then we let ourselves off the hook. Well, I didn't show up today, so then I'm probably just gonna give up. I'm not gonna do tomorrow. I'm not gonna follow through. But here's the thing, I'm again calling you out. I want you to show up for you this time. I want you to be that person that, you know, retrains those habit loops, because the thing I know about your brain is that it is the thing that can change everything. So if your habit loop is to not show up for yourself, guess what? You're just going to continue on that, because what you do in one area, you do in every area. And so I just encourage you that this week could be the change. It could be the groundbreaking change for you to change that habit loop of how you've shown up in the past. Maybe this is the new you. This is the one that shows up for you. And so I really hope that those of you that are on here this morning, comment below again. I'm here. I'm gonna be here all 7 days, and I'm gonna change my habit loop. So put habit loop in the comments. And Taffy, if you're on here this morning, I know she is. I cannot see the comments, so make sure you're monitoring the comments for me this morning and responding so that everybody knows that we're watching you, because I'm going to go back after this live and I'm going to respond to all those comments. So those of you that are on here this morning live, I know you're here. I will see you and I will see these comments. Okay, so let's get started this morning. Today, we're talking about motivation and the goal setting. So, one of the things I know is you can't bite off the elephant with the whole elephant. You have to choose something throughout this week that you can actually find success in. So, one of the things that we do a lot of times is when we start something is we're like, well, I'm going to walk, I'm going to exercise, I'm going to eat good nutrition, I'm going to read, I'm going to be kind, I'm going to do all the things. So we set up this mirage of things, and so the success rate is super low because we've taken on too many things. And so what if we just chose one thing? What if we just chose, maybe it's drinking more water, maybe it is eating better nutrition, or maybe it's just being on this live, maybe it's just being in the group, maybe it's just commenting every day. So put below what you plan to show up for you for this week in the comments. Let us know how you plan to show up for, and what you plan to show up and do. Okay, because we know when we commit to something, we actually type it out, we actually write it out, it connects a different mirror neuron in our brain that says, yep, she's actually going to do it this time. So just encourage you to do that today. And again, if you didn't print out the tracker, we're going to put it in again today. It was out there. It's not fancy, but maybe you don't need that tracker. Just a piece of paper, something where you're writing each day what you're going to do and that you're going to show up for yourself. Okay, and so for me, I just know in my past experience has been this, that here's a little bit about my story. So one of the things that I know is I am like a go-getter. Okay, I am that person that hits everything with both feet in, like the devil's chasing me on fire, and I start something and then I wear myself out. And then it's really hard to follow through. And I've done that in a lot of areas in my life. And what that caused is burnout and tiresome and a value system in my brain. I did that because of a value system in my brain. I felt like the only way that I could be successful is that if I did it a certain way, of an expectation that I'd set for myself. Instead of just saying to myself, you know what? I can show up every day and celebrate the little things. It's not an all or nothing or a perfectionist status. An all or nothing attitude is what keeps most people held back in your life. And your motivation will wane because it's so hard to meet the expectations that you set for yourself. And so we're never going to win by discipline and by doing these things like we're killing snakes. That is not it. And motivation, it's recreating habits and baby habits, something that I will actually do and show up for every single day. And then we habit stack on that. And how many put me, if that resonates with you? You've been that person that is the perfectionist. You're the one that says, it's an all or nothing. It's, you have to do everything like you're killing snakes. You're biting off all the elephants at one time. And so I just really encourage us to shift out of that mindset today and shift into the mindset of celebration of the little things. It's called changing our mindset, recreating habit loops, and stepping into something that we will actually do and actually accomplish so that we can continue to show up for ourselves. Okay. So that is this week. I want you to just think of this in small incremental steps and know that this 7 days can build on the next 7 days. Because you know what? If you can show up for 7 days and do the same thing, next week is in the beginning of another 7 days. What could you add? So if this week it's water, next week it's exercise, maybe it's the next week nutrition. And but not trying to do everything at once, super key in this life. And then celebrating, hey, yeah, I showed up well for myself. It's not this all or nothing. And then the other thing is prioritizing yourself. Do you understand? Have you made a decision in your mind that you matter? First of all, do you love yourself enough that you matter? So, again, it's not motivation, it's the habit. And if you don't have a habit of taking care of yourself and everything else in your life matters more than you, that's probably a habit loop. It's a value system that you took on a long time ago, and everything else in your world matters more than you taking care of you. The kids getting to here and there and everywhere, the house, the laundry, the husband, the job, the all of the things in your mind that you've created for yourself that matter more than you. Guess what? None of those things would even be happening if it wasn't for you. So, when was the last time you thought of yourself like that? That you should be at the top of the food chain. You should be the top priority of your day. That, the reason you lose motivation to take care of yourself is because you're so freaking tired taking care of everything else in your life. What if for once you stop with the obligation and the feeling of guilt for putting yourself first and you started showing up well for you in this space? And so, I really want to encourage you guys, put me in the chat. I matter for me in the comments below if this resonates with you. And you've been that person that's continually putting yourself on the side burner and you're not putting yourself first. So that's this week. That's resetting that mindset. That's taking this next 7 days to do something for you every single day. So, motivation is what's going to get you started because you're here on this, but it's the habits that's going to change. So, and that's what's going to help you to stay moving forward. Okay. One of the other things to think about is that if you, as you do this, is we know that when you say you're going to do something, you write it out and then you tell someone else, you're more likely to follow through. And so that's why I've set up these challenges this way. And a lot of people don't partake in all of those things. And that's why you're right back at square one, myself included. When I allow myself to just halfway do things, then I don't actually get the benefits. And so, long term, especially when we're changing habits. So, I know after being a coach for 7 years, but I'm also a horse trainer. I run a ranch. I have about 70 students a week here at a ranch. I teach high level vaulting for 15 years. I know the commitments that it takes to be successful. So I'm not talking about something that I don't know anything about. I'm talking about something that I know. And that the only reason, people look at my life and they think, oh, it must be so easy for Tereesa. She must just have everything so great. Well, let me tell you, it hasn't been easy. It's been a dedication of changing my habits in the way that I think and doing the things that I'm telling you to do, and one baby step at a time. So, that is going to be this week. We're going to be talking about, so today is just that motivation. It's the mindset. It's choosing that one thing that you are going to do and setting a solid foundation. Because what I know for you is when you think about what's going to really move me forward, how do people actually create success in their life? How do they actually change? And it's really consistently showing up for themselves every day and following through with the things that they say that they're going to do. If you continually be one of those people that say you're start and stop, start and stop, start and stop, just that reminder that that's a habit loop. That is a value system. That's an agreement that you've made with yourself that that's the kind of person that you're going to be. And I just want you today to choose for yourself Are you going to stay in that place, or are you in a place where you're ready to make a new agreement with yourself, reset your values and change your habits so that when you say you're going to do something, you can not only rely on that personally, but everyone around you can rely on you, that you what you say you're going to do, you're actually going to do. That you're not going to just show up for everyone else, but you're going to show up for you. So that's just my encouragement today. And I don't know if any of you know this, but today is my birthday. And this is 7 years of health for me. And I am celebrating with so much excitement today to be sharing this with you today, to be sharing time with you of becoming our best selves, that we are moving into that space of letting go of our past selves, stepping into our new selves. And I know that every year I'm becoming better, I'm becoming more, and I'm going to become my best self. And it's something I continue to strive for. And that's the big reason I don't have to do any of these things. Nobody's asking me to do any of these things. I do this because I truly am passionate about changing people's lives and helping them see what's possible for them. Because when I look back, over the last 7 years, there's no way I would have thought I would be where I am today. But it started with a decision. It started with one decision to say, hey, I matter. My health mattered. My family mattered. My life mattered. And I no longer wanted to sit in that space of settling, of mediocre, and letting life pass me by because of the choices that I was making. It was the decision to show up for me. And that happened 7 years ago. And I'm so grateful. I never want to go back to the way I was before. I'm grateful for my past. I'm grateful for what it gave me. But I'm even more grateful for the future and what is coming because of the decision I made 7 years ago. And now that I understand the value of making a decision, showing up for myself, and following through, that I continue that habit loop with everything that I do, every area of my life. I can tell you I'm very cautious about what I say yes to because I know for me, I will do it. So I am very careful nowadays about the things that I say yes to. And I hope for you too that you are as well. So today, that's going to start out our week is this mindset. And so put below, this resonates with me. I'm ready to get going. Let's get started, Tereesa, in the comments below. And I was really hoping that I could see the comments and on my live, but it's not showing up in my page yet. So maybe so I will come back at that later. So the last thing I want to share with you guys this morning is this. So a couple things. We talked about making sure that you have the tracker. Okay. So maybe you're in this space and you've taken part in one of these before and you're like, Tereesa, I just love what you tell. I love what you're doing. I love what you're sharing. And I really, really, really would love to be more involved in things that you're doing. I can't really commit right now to the retreats and the 8 weeks, but I really just want to be more. So guess what? Taffy is going to put in our comments below our membership program that we're starting. And the reason I'm doing that is because I know people love this, but maybe you want more interaction, and it's going to be our VIP for this program. So we're going to put the information in the comments below. And what that's going to entail is that you get to have a actual one-on-one call with me. You all actually get to be part of our community. We're going to be connecting once a month. The first connection is going to be on May 12th. And via Zoom, we're going to get together and we're going to move forward in life with some really great topics. The people that did the VIP last time, holy cow, you'll see Fawn in our page. She is set. Trina's in our page. Taffy's in our page. Go through our page and look at what's happening in their lives and the changes that they're making because they chose to do the VIP last time. So this time our VIP will be the membership, which is a continual. The other thing is remembering that we have an 8 week program and a retreat. Both of those are coming up. If you're really in a space where you're ready to move forward in your life and you know that you just need that extra nudge, I encourage you to just dive in. If all these things are resonating with you and you've got this thing in the back of your mind saying, hey, I would really like to be more part of that, you know what? I encourage you to be more and be part of that. So if you want any information about that, please put that in the comments below. Taffy now will reach out to you too. But at the end of the day, here's the thing, we're here and now, right now, in this 7 day challenge. This is for you. I'll be posting some stuff later today. Make sure you comment. Um, and just make sure that you're here all 7 days. Again, if you can't be on the lives every day, today was a little bit longer to launch. I'm going to try to keep them to 10 minutes or less over this week, maybe even 5 minutes. Just encouragement each day to get you motivated and going. But today is really about the mindset behind moving ourselves forward into the motivation and the foundation. Because here's the thing, I know that when you build your life and you build your choices on a solid foundation of making the decision, showing up, and follow through, guess what? I know that that will carry over into every other area of your life. So the one thing that you show up for yourself this week could be a major game changer. It might be a small thing for other people looking in, but what you know and what I know is it's one decision at a time that's going to move you to the goal to becoming your future self. So I hope today that this was super helpful for you. God bless you. And, I'm just super grateful that you're part of this community. Make sure you comment below that you were here and that you're in, what your goals are, your goal is for the week. And we'll see you tomorrow morning, same time and same place.